What up, Winbush here. And in today's Corn Up Challenge, we're going to take on a 1993 item smash hit, Ninja Baseball Batman. Now, you might not be familiar with this game because only 50 units actually came to North America when this was out in the arcades in the early 90s. So I'm going to play through this start to finish with my typical challenge of only spending $5. Now, if we look at it as being 1 credit per 25 cents, that's going to give us 20 credits to play around with. So let's jump right into it. So we have 4 characters that we could choose from the top. And fun fact, each one of these characters are actually based off of real life baseball figures there. All 4 characters do have baseball bats as their weapons. You're not able to pick up other weapons as you proceed, but there are some pretty cool special moves throughout this game. And if you look at the character artwork, like that's the one thing that really stood out. When I was live streaming this earlier, when I was recording the gameplay, a lot of people that jumped in the chat were asking if this was a newer game because the sprite work is just that great. Now with some of these crazy power-ups, like we see the cheerleaders coming in as we're battling this airplane on an airplane, I mean, that's pretty wild. But you know, this reminded me a lot of Cuphead. Like I wonder if Cuphead actually pulled inspiration from this. But I was able to make it through level 1 absolutely clean, no quarters at all. But as we proceed on to level 2, this one takes place in San Francisco, and this is where we meet our first mini boss, Ball Titan. So you can see we started on a bridge, now we landed on top of the boat. As you board the ship below, we fight more wacky characters until we meet this level's guardian, Mad Max. I think he might be a Doom Buggy, I'm not sure. But the boss on level 2 is pretty wild. He's like this Doom Buggy type character. I don't know, like I really like the character designs in this game. But as we proceed, I beat level 1 with no quarters used at all. And level 2, I actually had to spend 50 cents. So we're down about 50 cents so far, which isn't too bad. And oh yeah, by the way, when you defeat each level, you get these golden items. So that was the premise of the whole game. So in stage 1, you got the golden baseball bat, and in stage 2, you got the golden baseball. Before we go into stage 3, there's always this bonus game in which I've always been slow to complete. You have about 10 seconds to crush this baseball. Now I've read that it takes about 70 button hits to complete, but yeah, I've tried a lot, but I never succeeded, not even one time. But as we continue, we battle playing cards and other casino-related items in Stage 3, which will be Las Vegas. I really like how bright and animated this level was, in particular because as someone that has visited Vegas a lot, I feel like they really nailed the energy of the city when it was in its prime, and it's just a fun take on the Vegas Strip all around. And of course, the boss battle is against a slot machine, of course, because why not? This was another fun battle on our journey to beat this game in under 20 credits. After defeating the slot machine, we then grabbed the golden cap. Now, as we move on to stage 4, I don't really get the context of this level. Like, we are in Texas, but it's stated inside of a haunted house. Maybe I'm not making the connection, but it's a dope level nonetheless as I battle through this spooky haunted house against like appliances and furniture. And at the end, these items all came together to form the final boss, which would be the Ghost Buffalo, in which I don't get, but it still looks cool, so I'll rock with it. But for my valiant efforts battling this boss, I was granted the Golden Glove in the end. Now we're in Florida battling it out in the swamplands, and you know these characters, they remind me of Mega Man a little bit, right? Like if you look at this character right here, it looks like something that would be out of Mega Man, but that's just a testament to how awesome the character designs are in Ninja Baseball Batman. And I'm not sure how we got into the secret laboratory, but at least we got some help from our cheerleader friends here. And even though we went from the swamplands to a laboratory, which I don't get because this is Florida, well, I get the swamplands, but they did stick with the theme for the final boss, which is Mechanical Alligator. And after whipping on him and getting our golden shoes, it sets us up for another bonus level. And once again, I suck at doing these bonus levels in this game. You have 10 seconds to crush this ball. Again, I was reading that it takes about 70 button pushes, of which I guess I'm not fast enough because I failed miserably, but that's alright because we still have a lot of credits to work with. Probably one of my favorite levels in terms of theme, but this level 6 brings us to Chi-Town, aka Chicago, where we battle out these mobster style dogs looking like they came straight out of Dick Tracy. And this one feels like a short level, but the boss here, it did put the work on me, making me spend a lot of tokens. Now I'm not quite sure why this villain is named Makeshift. I don't know, leave me a comment down below, maybe you understand better than I do. But after defeating Makeshift, we grab the last golden piece and move on to the final level. Now this is where it gets weird because throughout the game, we're supposed to be collecting all these different golden pieces and bringing it to the commissioner, but in the end, it ends up backstabbing us, so that's going to take us to one more level, in which is going to be New York, New York. New York, New York, in the city of dreams. Put everything in New York ain't always what it seems. But the final stage here, we are battling it out on the high rise with these simple villains. But when we jump down, we land inside the baseball stadium, where it's pretty much a boss rush at this point, like many of the beat 'em ups in the 1990s. If you're not familiar with the 1990 beat 'em up scene and how we always have a boss rush at the final level, basically what you're going to do is every single boss that we face up to this point, we're going to have to battle them out until we get all the way to the final boss, King Babe. Remember when I said each player is named after a famous baseball player, right? Well, I think this villain might be named after Babe Ruth. I'm not really sure, I don't know. But this one really put the work on me. He made me spend a lot of quarters. But in the end, we actually beat the game. All in all, Ninja Baseball Batman is a great game. For anybody out there that's not familiar with it, I would say this is a must play. Now, that final boss rush battle scene, it cost me about $1.75 to complete in all, in which it brings my grand total to $4.25. So that means that I have about 75 cents or 3 tokens left at the end of the day, which puts me under my $5 limit. Now, this was a lot of fun to play through. If you look at my last playthrough, I did Captain Commando. I did beat that one under $5, but if you want to see my breakdown on that, make sure you go check that video out. And as I stated in the middle of this video, if you want to see complete gameplay all the way through from beginning to end, no commentary, just straight gameplay of me playing this, make sure you check out my long form video in which I do just that. And make sure you leave me a comment down below, because I would love to hear your suggestions on what to play next, whether it's a beat 'em up, a light gun shooter, anything's on the table. So once again, my name is Winbush. Subscribe if you're new, and until next time, stay fresh, keep creating, and I'll catch you in that next video. I'll see you soon. Take care.